The year 1947, August. British India, which had been ruled for 2 centuries, was finally divided. 2 new independent states, India and Pakistan, were born. With the partition, terrible riots began, bloody clashes between Hindus and Muslims, and the tragic journey of millions of people across the border to become refugees. However, during the partition, a complex question arose. Where would the approximately 565 princely states under British India go? They could remain independent if they wanted, or join India or Pakistan. Kashmir was one such state, a land of natural beauty, mountains, rivers and valleys. 70% of the state's population was Muslim, but its king, Hari Singh, was Hindu. He had not yet decided who would Kashmir be with. He wanted Kashmir to remain independent and not go with either India or Pakistan. Meanwhile, Pakistan was not waiting any longer. They thought that Kashmir was Muslim majority, so naturally it would go to Pakistan. A secret plan was hatched on their part to invade Kashmir using the tribes, Pathans, of the northwest frontier province. October 22, 1947. Thousands of armed tribal warriors, who are famous for looting and war, crossed the Muzaffarabad border in Kashmir and attacked. They continued to advance rapidly. On the way, they burned cities, abducted women, and looted houses. The Kashmir army was weak. They were unable to stop this violent force. The tribes rushed towards the capital, Srinagar. Panic spread throughout the state. Maharaja Hari Singh realized that Kashmir could not survive alone. He asked for help from India. However, Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel made a condition. Kashmir must join the Indian Union. Only then will help be provided. Finally, on October 26, 1947, the Maharaja signed the Instrument of Accession, according to which Kashmir officially joined India. The next morning, the Indian army landed in Srinagar by plane. Then began a fierce battle. Indian troops pursued tribals and Pakistani-backed forces through mountains, valleys and snowfall. Indian troops gradually began to regain Kashmir. They captured Baramulla, Ur and other important areas. Pakistan expanded the war by sending troops directly. Bloody battles took place in Jammu, Poonch and Rajouri. Along with soldiers on both sides, ordinary people also fell victim to this conflict. Thousands of families were left homeless. Hundreds of villages were burned. Meanwhile, the United Nations stepped in to stop the war. In January 1948, India filed a complaint with the United Nations. Pakistan had unjustly interfered in Kashmir. The United Nations called for a ceasefire and proposed that if the war ended, the people of Kashmir would decide through a plebiscite whether they would stay in India or Pakistan. The ceasefire came into effect on the 1st of January 1949, before the army could take control. By then, however, Kashmir had been divided into 2 parts. One part in India, which included Srinagar and Jammu, and the other part in Pakistan, which was called Azad Kashmir. The war ended, but the question remained, whose Kashmir? The plebiscite was never held again, and this unfinished war became the beginning of the longest conflict between the 2 countries in a century. This was the full story of the First Indo-Pakistani War of 1947 to 48.